Hey, what's going on out there? Y'all know what time it is, man. Pop up show on a Tuesday. I'm sorry, is it Tuesday?
It's Wednesday.
No,
Hump day.
Wednesday. I guess it April Fools on me. Hey, it
Yeah.
happens. But we wilding out this Wednesday, man, with a pop up show. It's a little bit after 1 o'clock, man. We on a little late cause StreamYard, but hey, that's what they do. But we gonna talk about Raheem Morris, Arthur Blank at the owners' meetings, and the popular topic of Kirk Cousins. If y'all haven't known, we've been talking about Kirk Cousins for the last 3 months, non-stop. So at this point, you think something would happen, right? You would think that the Falcons would come out and say, "Hey, did we try this? We tried that," but
hmm
Arthur Blake finna give y'all the lowdown on what's been going on, the conversation between him and Kurt, Raheem Morris on the situation with will they move him? It's just too much to
Chicken.
unpack, man. But before we get to
Sticky.
going, man, go ahead, Chris.
Hey man, how y'all doing, man? We're gonna get into it. Like you said, we've been talking about Kirk Cousins the last 3 months, and think about it like the last year or so. He's just been in the headlines, good or bad, regardless when it comes to Atlanta Falcons. So this is just another episode in the day of the life of an Atlanta Falcons fan.
Facts. And that's what look. I bring y'all news 24/7. I know I got about 10 videos in my repertoire that I've talked about Kirk Cousins. I probably ought to delete some of them because I don't want no reuse content thing again. But look, it's news. But shout out Mr. James, man. Mr. James been a fan ever since the inception of '66. So
Oh
shout
man,
out Mr. James.
that's what I'm
Mike,
talking.
what's good? RB, what's good? Yeah, it's been bad management, man. Definitely that. Miss Pam, what's good? Ewok. Yeah, Cleveland would be a good spot for Kurt. I agree with that
Right.
100%. I agree with that 100%. But what we gonna do, man? We gonna go to Twitter and look at a tweet. We're gonna talk about that right quick, and then Mr. Arthur Blank talks to Steve Weiss, and I
Mm.
hope to have Steve on the show soon to get a little bit more in depth with this interview. So I'm working on bringing Steve Weiss back on the show, so y'all can hear from the horse's mouth about what's going
Oh
on
yeah.
with Atlanta because he was in Atlanta. He worked at the AJC for a long time, and he was a reporter for the team for about 4 years. Right into the inception with when Arthur Blank came to Atlanta as the owner, Steve Weiss was right
Mm.
there. So who better to talk to about the Atlanta Falcons than Mr. Steve Weiss? So yeah, we working to get that one back on, get him back on to talk about that. But Larry, what's good?
What is
Tevin, what's
good,
good,
Larry?
man? We're gonna get that NFC South roundtable back popping soon, hopefully. Mike,
Mm.
what's up? King Richie. And like I
What's
said,
good,
RB
family?
man with the positive
Hey, shout
news.
out to
But
RB.
let's get to this tweet right quick, man.
RB. Shout out to the fans that went out to Vegas last year, man, for that Vegas and Raiders game too, man. We had the city taking over.
Boy, I heard it was crunk there. I should have had my ass there, but hey, heck, things happen. But Steve White said in a tweet yesterday, man, said Falcon coach Raheem Morris said backup Kirk Cousins made him and others aware he would like to be a starter, leading to the
Mm-hmm.
thought that Cousins would be very, very willing to trade no trade clause, and we all thought that he was going to do that. But hey, it's up to him at the end of the day where he wants to go. That is the only way that would work, and that's why they put those in contracts so the player have the ups on management as to where he wants to go. But Morris said that they had not reached a point in the discussions that materialized with him. And Morris also added he would not be surprised if Kirk Cousins stayed away from voluntary workouts, and anybody with common sense know that he don't have no reason to be at voluntary camp workouts if um, he's not doing what's right by the team. But
Right.
this is the interview with Steve Weiss and Falcons owner Arthur Blank. We're gonna talk about that right quick. We're gonna listen to it first, actually,
I
and
actually
then
didn't
when
catch this yet.
yeah, so it'll be our first time listening to it. But from
Mm-hmm.
what the tweet says, he talked about what's been going on with Kurt. And look, I'm telling y'all, just be ready for anything. Because, like I said, neither of us have heard this. We haven't listened to it. But at the same time, we kind of know where it's going to go and what we've been hearing. But let's hear it from the horse's mouth. But before we get into it, you got anything to add before we get into it?
I mean, hey, we already know that Kurt wants to be a starter. We knew that when he went to go talk to Terry Fontenot. Excuse me, not Terry Fontenot, Arthur Blank about, hey, I would like to be a starter. I'm pretty sure that conversation was, I believe Arthur gave him a chance to, voice his opinion. And then he came back with what he said. We're going to do what's best for the Falcons. And that's the approach that I feel like we should keep. But let's see what Arthur got to say, man.
Yeah, they're going to see what Uncle Arthur got to say because honestly, I give him away for a 12-pack of Coke and some Funyuns.
I see Kiera said she'll take a 4th round. Smitty said he'll take an 8th round, and we ain't even got those kind of picks.
Not no more. Actually, if y'all remember, and I've been watching football forever, they used to have draft rounds go all the way up to round 12 or 13.
13, yeah.
So I've been around for a while.
The last pick in the 13th round.
Oh, well, that pass must be irrelevant.
Boy.
But let's get into this right quick, man. We ain't gonna hold y'all.
All right, Mr. Blank, of course, when it comes to your team, the topic is your...
Let me blow it up just a little bit so y'all... Whew. That's a good little bit to unpack that, man. Look, this is what I'm talking about when you make stupid bonehead decisions. Now, if you unpack what he started off with, they had an hour-long meeting, which we knew about.
Right.
But he said he did all the listening. So this lets me know Kirk Cousins went in there with the intention to try to force a trade, to try to force a release. And, how can you do that when you under contract and somebody done paid you $100 million? That sounds kind of selfish to me.
Because, Smitty, it's just like, okay, it's just like doing something for someone, like, things are being done for them. Everything is all good, but you see who they really start to become once things don't go their way. So he been trying to force his way out of Atlanta because he's seen the writing on the wall back when he had the helmet on the sideline looking crazy in Washington. And he's seen it really before then, but it came into fruition to where you really can see it when Michael Penix took over the starting job. So I'm not surprised that we're here right now. I'm not surprised at anything Mr. Blank is saying. Honestly, you can really tell that, he is being careful with his words, and I feel like I believe what he's saying. I believe what he's saying is true. But at the end of the day, this man has been paid. I don't feel no way about it at all anymore. If we keep Kirk Cousins, then I believe then the reason why we have is because it was best for the Falcons because nothing was out there worth trading for. And now, if we get rid of him, I'm cool with that too because this story needs to end. And honestly, every Falcon fan in the sound of my voice is ready to move on.
Yeah, like I said too, man, a guy like this, no matter how much he try to sugarcoat it, talking about how he loved the fans and he's a good locker room guy, man, keep that bull crap. Because
it's a lot of good locker room guys.
If he was a good locker room guy, when he got hurt last year, he would have let the trainer knew. Because at the end of the day, we all know if you're injured and you're playing and you're not playing 100%, something's gonna be off. And y'all see it on the screen earlier. 1 touchdown, 9 interceptions over his last 5 games. Make that make sense. So you mean to tell me he's a good locker room guy when he's causing losses that took us from 6-3 to 6-7 to 9-8? So you mean to tell me he did do something right? I'm sorry, 8-9. So you mean to tell me he did do something right? Man, miss me with that. Because look, Arthur Blank said it himself. They gonna do what's best with him because he signed the contract, so he got to own up to the contract. They paid him what almost $100 million. He made almost $100 million already. Just think about that.
That's what I'm saying. It's already signed, sealed, and delivered.
Right. In 14 games, we got 14 games out of him. 18 touchdowns, which he was top 5 or 6 in the NFL after the 6-3 start. But he ended up 16 interceptions, and I think 12 fumbles, if I'm not mistaken. So just like we talked about Desmond Ritter, Mr. Triple Double, he did it back
had
to back
better
season,
numbers.
triple double as well.
I was
So
just saying, Dez had better numbers than Kurt. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? From whatever
right,
Kurt was dealing with, whether it's the shoulder, elbow, whatever, at the end of the day, it just didn't work out for us. And that's the unfortunate thing. The thing about it is, I don't think people are necessarily mad that we tried to make something work. I think it's just the fact that it didn't work out, and you kind of seen that it possibly couldn't. But I mean, we did have good times. A lot of people be saying, "Hey, man, we were 6-3. We were 6-3," and I really hate that, because that's all that we really can hang our hat on. The fact that we were 6-3. You know, I feel like we deserve more than that.
yeah, man. Because let's be real, Chris. At the end of the day, how in the hell can you demand a trade when you've pretty much just got a $10 million roster bonus? They paid you close to $60 million last year, the first year of your contract, for only 14 games, and now you trying to force your way out of town. You trying to debo the owner, which to me is, like I said, disrespectful. One thing about a contract, when you sign it, you own up to it. If they don't have to trade him, they don't have to release him, they can actually force him to retire.
I mean,
think about it.
If they want to get nasty, Falcons are not an organization like that. But but to your point, yeah, they could. They really could
force retirement.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're supposed to cut him, or we could cut him after 2 years. But if it really got nasty, yeah, we could. I mean, we got 4 years, 180. But at the end of the day, I know it's not going to get to that point though. But if he wants to, skip voluntary stuff, we already seen that coming. Honestly, he doesn't have to be there.
But that's what I'm saying. What's the point of him coming back? If he's not going to go to voluntary workouts, which he shouldn't, that lets you know he doesn't need to be around the team anymore. Period.
Because it's saying right here on the screen, 4 years, $180 million contract. That's why you're behind. Got to be over there. I understand it's a distraction, but at the end of the day, we paid for it, so we can't. We could just sit it to the side if we wanted to, but at the end of the day, what is that even going to fix? Because that's going to be a storyline too. Regardless, it's going to be a story no matter what we do. So there's no right answer. I really feel like at this point. I say either we're going to trade him, we trade him, that's a story. We don't trade him, that's a story. I'm saying? Like, when we bench him, then, with some people thinking that Kirk Cousins could still be our backup if something was to, God forbid, knock on wood, happen to Michael Penix. I'm not thinking like that, but it is a reality. So, right. I mean, it's just a tough situation, guys. I really just wish we were never in this situation to begin with, because it's gotten real ugly now. I mean, we're in April now, getting closer to the draft. We still have no real resolution. The only thing we have is just thoughts that we're just throwing off of the wall. Still nothing really just concrete about what we're going to happen.
Right. And honestly, it's damage control at this point, because I keep hearing, and it just bothers me when Arthur Blank just keeps saying, I think he's not a divisive person. I think he's a good locker room guy. How the hell is he a good locker room guy when the first time he got here, he cost y'all a draft pick, a fifth-round draft pick.
Gone.
And now y'all only got 5 draft picks, and y'all possibly have to make a trade to recoup that pick. And I honestly don't see nobody trade with the Falcons in the second round. First round, I think they would, but there'll be too many round one misses on the board when the Falcons pick in the second round. Because when I tell y'all the top 50 players, some of those players are going to fall to the second or third round. So I just think, honestly, and I didn't even add this part. We talked about him costing them a 5th round pick. And when he got here, think about what he's going to cost if nobody picks up that $27.5 million option. Now, this is the reason why Cleveland makes sense, because Cleveland can pay that whole $27.5 million, and the Falcons will be left with nothing to paying that. But the thing with that, he's going to cost us another draft pick, because to take on that contract, they're probably going to ask for a 2nd or 3rd round pick down the road. Whether it's 2026 or 27. One or the other. It's going to be one of the next 2 years that they're going to ask for a second or third round pick.
I think they're going to definitely want it in 26, just because,
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, no, I'm just agreeing to your point. I think it would be 26 because, I mean, why wouldn't it be? I wouldn't even ask for anything to 27. And if you try to make that work, hey, man, just keep Kurt then, unless I'm just super desperate. But if it's just, I don't know, man, I just feel like no team is going to try to give us necessarily what we want, because everybody knows that this is a sticky situation and both parties want out. Falcons want out, but they're not going to do nothing crazy. They're going to stay steadfast, and I think they need to. And Kurt, he absolutely wants out. If there was any possible way that Kurt can get out of this contract and get out of Atlanta, he would. But unfortunately, the ink has dried, and you are here in Atlanta until otherwise. Continue to do what's best for the Atlanta Falcons, Arthur Blank. I salute you on that, because that's the only thing that we have left to deal with. Kirk Cousins, he still got the no trade thing. That's his last card he can play. I feel like we're dwindling it down, but it's just so tiring, man. It's just like we've been running at this race for so long, and Falcon fans just deserve better at this point, man. Regardless of what's going to happen, we just deserve better moving forward.
And I give y'all another a perfect thing to feed off of. A perfect example. Do you remember when Jared Goff was the LA Rams, and they traded him to the LA Rams? And they swapped quarterbacks basically for him and Matthew Stafford. Right. Guess what? The Rams had to give up a first-round pick in order for that trade to go through. So this is what I'm saying. Sometimes, depending on who it is and what is going on and what the situation is, it's just like Deshaun Watson. Say like if Deshaun Watson didn't get hurt with that Achilles injury and they were forced to trade him. They will have to trade Deshaun Watson and probably a first-round pick in order for somebody to take on that contract. So at this point, it's is subtraction plus addition. You subtracted Kirk Cousins, but you're adding on the draft pick. They may ask for, let's say, we need a third-round pick or something to take on that contract because that's y'all mishaps, not ours. So,
yeah. That's how I kind of feel like it's going to be like that. Like, I mean, nobody told you to sign them, it's one of them type things. Kind of like it's going to be a nasty situation. Like I feel like GMs are going to be kind of nasty about it. Like, well, we know you want to get rid of him. We know he doesn't want to play for you. And then you got to start thinking about, okay, what's going to happen down the line? Will Kurt start selling games if he has to get put in? I don't think so. I think he's a professional. And but honestly, I just don't want to get to that point. If we do, it is what it is. But let me ask you this. Do you really see a trade scenario still out there for Kirk Cousins? I mean, we're in the beginning of April.
Outside of Cleveland?
Yeah, outside of Cleveland.
I would say the Colts. But again,
they just signed Daniel Jones, though.
Agreed, but at the same time, what Daniel Jones was last year in Minnesota, a backup.
Right.
He's not guaranteed to start.
Anthony Richardson too.
Exactly. So you bring in a Kirk Cousins, that give them the ultimatum to trade Anthony Richardson. So they would probably do that just to get off of Anthony Richardson and have a reason to get off of him because his dead cap space is probably little than that when it comes to quarterbacks. We're talking about guys making $50-60 million. I think Anthony Richardson's contract is probably about $5 million at best this year.
So would you trade for Anthony Richardson?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because he's not developed. And do the Falcons have somebody that can develop quarterbacks? I don't think so. Now, Zach Robinson, he adjusted as the season went on. He got better as an offensive coordinator, but I don't know if he can develop another quarterback. We got to see what he's going to do with Michael Penix first. Until we see what he does with Michael Penix, we don't have nobody that can develop quarterbacks. And if he can't help develop Michael Penix and help him a better passer, help him a better field general, help his awareness on the field, yeah, then I'll think about a younger quarterback. But if I'm at Atlanta and I get off of Cousins, I'm gonna say, well, let me see what I think Jacoby Brissett is already signed.
Yeah.
Let me see what Tyrod Taylor can still do. He's been around for a while. Let me see what Ryan Tannehill can do. if he would come in and play backup for us. So at this point, if you get rid of Cousins, you got to go out and sign a veteran guy. You can't go out and sign a guy that's been around a year, 2 or 3. You got to sign a guy that's been around 4, 5, 10, 15 years, like a Joe Flacco or somebody like that. You can't go backwards, because if you go out and get a young guy, you basically going backwards. Because if you have Penix, like you said, we don't know the unknown with injuries.
Mm-hmm.
What if Michael Penix get injured and you go out and get a young guy? You pretty much in the same spot and having to start all over again.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true. It's definitely true. I get it. I mean, at the end of the day, man, we got to do whatever's best for the Atlanta Falcons, and it's best for our future in Michael Penix. You know, at the end of the day, we know he's going to be the starter, but we was always going to have a question about, like, when he is starting, who is the backup? You know, so that was always going to be a question. It's just we're here a lot quicker than we thought we would be.
Yeah, and the sad part about it, man, when you miss on the quarterback this bad, it sets you back about 2 to 3 years. Yeah, Michael Penix might go out and, he might do his thing, but think about the 5th round pick we lost. Think about the offense taking a step back, because let's be real. Like I said, if Zach Robinson flourished this year with Michael Penix, guess what? He's going to be a coach in college football, or he's going to be a coach in the NFL. One or the other.
I also hate that we traded away our 3rd round pick that we don't have this year now for Matt Judon to have him come in and play big nickel instead of getting after the quarterback. Like, that was just, I just really hate that, man.
Oh, man.
For real.
Ooh, and we talk about 3rd round picks. And I see, reports out there saying Cleveland would give us a 3rd round pick. If they do, I honestly think we're gonna have to give up that 4th round pick. So we still don't win that trade. It's just gonna be a pick swap, basically. Cause like I said, it just doesn't make sense to me. And looking at the immediate future, cap wise, yeah, we'll have $80 million next year, but how much of it is dead cap space?
Man, that's another question. I don't have that in front of me right now, but yeah, that's something else. That's another can that so we're gonna have to pick up later on to see.
Tony Lambert, Pete Carroll is the new Raiders head coach, and he went out and got Geno Smith.
Right.
Somebody he recruited in Seattle. So the Raiders are straight. I said this about the Raiders too. Everybody picking Shedeur Sanders to go there. I don't think he goes there either, because Geno Smith is probably going to sign a new deal and be their quarterback for the next 2 to 3 years. So now I see the Raiders either going wide receiver or running back in this draft, or offensive line. But they've definitely got to, get some pieces on that offense, because these guys couldn't probably put 10, 15 points on the board with that offense from last year. So I don't, the Raiders, they had
I don't think Geno should be the long-term answer, but hey, we'll see. We'll see.
Mike said Ritter or Flacco to be the backup.
I think Flacco got an interview somewhere, maybe on somebody's squad, ain't it?
Yeah, I think Flacco is finna sign a contract with somebody. And remember, Flacco and Matt Ryan got drafted in the same draft, and Flacco is still playing, and Matt Ryan is retired. Let that sink in.
He said Joe Flacco reunion with the Browns. It's a possibility. Yeah. I'm like, oh Lord.
And y'all gotta remember
that would hurt our chances for Kirk Cousins to get up there.
Crazy thing with that, when Flacco played with the Browns, what was it, 2 years ago? Joe Flacco in 6 games threw more touchdown passes than Desmond Ritter in the entire season. Let that sink in.
It was crazy, right?
And shout out to Ryan on the Birdcage, man. Y'all please go check him out. And think about this too, man. As we talk about looking toward the past just a little bit. As far as backups, I think the backups are, at this point, are all signed except Tyrod Taylor. Now, I probably could look on the free agent list, but who's going to come in, and just light things up? I don't think there's a backup out there that can do that. Probably 2 or 3. Gardner Minshew, but I think he signed somewhere. So
Where did he go? I think he went somewhere else. I can't remember, man. It was so
yeah,
many.
he
It was
was.
really so much movement this off season. You know, so with free agents and signings, just everything.
Hey, Udoko, I ain't gonna sleep on the Raiders. I'm just saying, the Raiders, they just got a lot of rebuilding to do, just like the Falcons do, just like the Browns do. And like I said, one thing about it, when you make a move this bad, it can just at the quarterback position, and Michael Pittman may be the saving grace. Who knows? But financial wise, we just got out of cap hill with last year. And now we slowly sliding right back that way because even though we got $20 million raise or extra money, we only seeing like 8 to 10 million of it because of dead cap space.
Right. Ran up. So
So
we was running up the hill and we slipped and slid back down.
man, look, like my granddad used to say, God rest his soul. When it comes to the salary cap, yeah, Gardner Minshew went to Kansas City. Absolutely
I
correct.
thought somebody picked him up. Yep, for a 1-year deal. I remember that now.
Yeah, so like my granddad used to say, man, when it comes to salary cap space, it's just like we had one foot in the grave and the other on the banana peel. Let that sink in. We going in the right direction,
That term.
and we signed Kirk Cousins. But honestly, bro, when I was younger, I did not know what he meant when he said that. But as I got older, it started to make so much sense. And what it basically means, you can be going in the right direction, but you make that wrong step, you're gonna keep sliding that same direction, the wrong direction. Raymond Collins, what's good, man?
That's good,
But
man.
yeah, man, this move to me, it just set us back just a little bit. And think about it too, man. And to me and Chris and Burrow, we all talked about this. Ryan, we all talked about this. If we don't sign Kirk Cousins to that deal and go ahead and make that draft pick with Michael Penix and make that move, we could be talking about trading for a Myles Garrett and give him that money that he wanted. We could be talking about trading for a Michael Parsons to get that defensive game changer. So that Kirk Cousins, that aspect as well, not only with the draft pick, losing draft picks, but think about the monetary value that he took away. If you pay him $62 million last year, guess what you could have paid for Myles Garrett or Michael Parsons or another top edge rusher or Max Crosby or somebody like that. That is money that you set back just because of that. So
this offseason could have been different. Yeah, it could have been. And so many stories are coming out now. There are so many stories back then around the time of the draft last year, especially after we took Michael Penix. And then there's so many storylines now, even to the point to where we're hearing that the Falcons were surprised Michael Penix were still available at 8. And I'm like, really? But if you look at some of the mock drafts from last year from involving Michael Penix, a lot of people had him going in the second round. I think the earliest
right, second round.
Was like mid first round. So
and the guy from CBS Sports, I think his name Pete Frisco, I think he had him as a third round talent.
Yeah.
But the sad part about that is Michael Penix was the best NFL ready quarterback in the draft last year because of the offense that he played in. He had guys Roma Dunze and McMillan, who's in Tampa Bay right now. Those were his 1 and 2 receivers. So he played with NFL caliber receivers in college. So why would he be a second or third round pick?
You got another teammate, I believe, in New England too.
Right, exactly.
So
he played with NFL caliber talent. So that's why I don't listen to these guys when it comes to where these guys are going to go in the draft, because they guessing just like we guessing. Because look, how many people can actually say they got every pick right in the draft last year from 1 to 32?
Yep, Jalon Polk. Yeah, appreciate that.
Exactly, that's who it is. That's exactly who it is. Udoko, we don't know Tyler Algier's status, but I don't think he's going anywhere. But if they do trade him, it should be at the draft or before the draft because this is a deep running back class. As me and Chris did the mock draft yesterday, we seen Michigan running back Donovan Eck was all the way in the 7th round, and you see what he did
Yeah.
at the University of Michigan. So if they're gonna move on from Tyler Algier, it's the perfect draft. And there's a guy named that's gonna rise up the board. We get closer to draft day, and that's Caleb Johnson, the running back from Iowa. You talk about Tyler Algier being a power runner, Caleb Johnson can be that same type running back. So yeah, this would be the perfect time to trade Tyler Algier if you're gonna do that. And plus, if you know he's not gonna resign, and probably won't because he was the number one guy, ran for 1,000 yards, and you still draft a running back at number 8.
Yeah.
I don't see him coming back just because of that.
Yeah,
But
and I understand. You got
but
change of pace. Yeah, and Bijan, he's a change of pace. Different. I mean, they can do similar things because Tyler can catch out the backfield as well. Maybe not as good as Bijan, but he can do it. And Tyler's a power runner, more of a power runner than Bijan, and so it's just like I feel like they complement each other. But it is going to come a point in time to where just like LaDainian Tomlinson and Michael Turner did. You come to a point where you have to go separate ways, and guys got to get their opportunities. And look what happened for Michael Turner here in Atlanta. It's kind of almost like the same situation. Like I would love to keep both guys. And, I said, of course, so I love Tyler Algier just because he represents old school ish type football. I'm saying, like just be that bowling ball. But I understand you can't get other bowling balls other places. It's just, I'm saying, I think those two just have that chemistry, something that I always say is, underrated in sports. It's just quite unfortunate that we're in this situation talking about possibly trading not only fan favorites, but also guys that can be productive for your team.
yeah, and Birdcage LLC, man, Ollie Gordon. I've said something about him my first mock draft, and people lost their mind. They talked about the fumbling issue. We have plenty of guys that been in the NFL with fumbling issues, but they got it together. I'll give you one running back in particular. Tiki Barber played with the Giants. This dude couldn't hold on to a stick of butter if he had it in his hands, but he changed the way he carried the football, and he fumbled only one time the rest of his career.
Yeah,
so
man.
it's something that you can definitely fix.
Yeah,
he used to hold the ball. He started holding the ball way up here instead of holding it by his side. So yeah, I understand that. But we're gonna let Ryan come in right quick while he on his lunch break.
What it
What's
is,
good,
Man,
Ryan?
hey man, you see what it is? I'm up here in the city of brotherly love, but I'm showing them how to love this red and black right here today.
Yes,
You know
sir.
how
Yes,
it go.
sir.
Let's get it. I heard you guys talking about trading, and you mentioned some great backs or whatnot. And I think that you do have a point, but a guy that keeps getting lost in the shuffle, you got Ollie Gordon out of Oklahoma State. Outside of him, Jada Byers is a guy that I've been talking about for the longest. That could come in and really do some of the things that a lot of people wouldn't think. And then you got Irv Mulligan. Those are three backs that I've talked about that can come in and really not just be change of pace guys, but they can actually help balance a lot of the load off of Bijan Robinson.
Right.
I said it this morning in bumper to bumper, and I appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing those likes this morning, man. I appreciate y'all all the time.
No problem.
Man, just think about it. Just think about this, man. When you look at the running backs have a limited lifespan. And I know everybody loves Bijan, but here's the thing. You can't run him into the ground. Ask the Rams about Ty Gurley. Ask them about Steven Jackson. I mean, every running back has a certain amount of carries. And what you want to do is we already see Bijan's going to be that guy. We saw that with the carries last year. The carries were more toward him than Algier. Let's just be honest. Yeah. But if you're going to have him as your star, you're going to have him as a guy that's going to be here. What you have to do is limit his carries and give him somebody who can take some of the load off of his back. You have to give him somebody because eventually injuries happen. I don't want that to happen for the kid, but let's be honest. It's a physical game. Everybody gets hurt. Some more significant than others. So why not get another back that's going, if you're going to trade Algier, get some value for him. Why not get a back that can actually balance out this offense and take some of that pressure off of Bijan Robinson and help save his legs for the postseason and years to come.
And honestly, you don't have to get a power back. You can go get the
Nope.
same type running back that he is. Just put a fullback or a tight end in front of him and make it an I formation type thing. So it's always ways to do things. And the way that they're picking up blocking tight ends, man, they're going to use 22 cent, probably more if they go out and get another shifty back. And I think, honestly, that's the right approach.
Right.
Agreed.
Also, I think they still want to do that outside zones run scheme too as well. So it is what it is, man. You can. I think we need to kind of like switch it up a little bit, but I know that's our bread and butter, guys. I do, and
I'm glad you brought that up because, as I look back at that tweet the other day about them going to Austin working out Kevin Banks Jr. and I saw people get it, they were pissed off about that tweet. But if the running game is your bread and butter, that's going to help you control the clock, that's going to protect your future quarterback blindside, what's the problem?
The problem is,
but hold on, what's the problem? Yeah, I know we need edge rushers, but me, Chris, Ryan, Berto, all of us is giving y'all prospects that could be possibly second round or later that they can go get, that can come in and produce. Sometimes it's not about quality, it's about quantity. If you have 2 to 3 to 4 edge rushers that can go out and get you 6 or 7 sacks a season, guess what? You winning. Because with those 4 edge rushers, you can get 6 sacks with them. That's 24 sacks. That's more than you had through 10 games last year. So just think about that, man. Sometimes you can go out and get 3 or 4 guys that can do the job. You saw it with the 98 team. There was no clear-cut pass rush on that team. But Chuck Smith, Lester Archambault, Patrick Kearney, all these guys on that 98 Super Bowl team, all these guys were getting out to the quarterback.
Yeah,
so you don't have to have that one particular guy. Go ahead.
I said we're also looking at Isaiah Bond too, bringing him in for a pro day.
Exactly.
So. No, sir.
Exactly.
Hell no. I'm standing on 10 toes down. Hell no. Can I actually cuss on y'all show?
Hold on, I'm just saying, bro. Like that's
no,
what's
I'm just
going
asking,
on.
can I cuss on y'all show? Because if you,
we're gonna keep that limited because I just got my monetization.
Okay, no, I got you. I had to make sure because it was some other choice words that I was gonna use.
Oh Lord.
If you bring this old bum ass receiver up in here, this man didn't have good numbers at Alabama, and this dude damn sure didn't have good numbers at Texas. And you're willing to look at that, man? Please go get that boy from North.
You know,
but I'm gonna tell you,
he improved his 40 time.
Well, here's my thing: do you want a guy that's fast as hell with no hands, or do you want a guy that can actually run a 4.4 and got good hands and they can actually block? Go get my boy out of North Carolina State, Jakeem Williams, please. 4.4, led the MEAC in touchdowns this year. I'm just saying, if you're gonna draft a receiver, my thing is this needs to be a defensive draft. I get the Kelvin Banks. I get the Kelvin Banks situation. I understand where you're coming from, but I still stand strong on Carson Vincent. You got to at least trade back and get some players, or if you don't trade back, you got to get an edge rusher at this point or a defensive tackle. We literally keep dodging the serious issues. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
When have we really had a true D tackle that's really held everything up? Grady played out of position his whole career, so I don't want to even hear that part from folks in the chat. They keep saying that. No, we have yet to have a real D tackle that is a game changer. You got Walter Nolan. You got the kid out of Michigan. This is the draft you get your D tackle to help your pass rush right now. Like, come on, man.
And
exactly. The kid out of Kentucky.
Yeah.
And if you want somebody that can really eat up space, that kid Desmond Watson from Florida is there.
I need him to lose at least 50 pounds now.
Ugly draft, fellas. I stay 10 toes on that.
I need him to lose 50 pounds because you're not going to be able to move like that against a 300-pound lineman that's running a 4.5, 4.8. I'm sorry, 4.7, 4.8, 4.9 that can get in and out of the hole and clear stuff. He's got to lose weight to become more effective. You know, that's the only issue I got with him. The athleticism is there, the nastiness is there. I'm for it. But if I'm gonna take a D tackle, if we're not gonna draft none of these top guys, go get my man Biggers out of Georgia Tech. That's right up the street. And I'm a dog fan. That should tell you enough.
Right.
But let me address something right quick, man. Greer Wilson, yeah, I was on the Kirk Cousins train. Everybody know that. I said that I felt like Kirk Cousins could come in and do his thing with this team, but after seeing what he did and seeing how selfish he was, I don't change my stance on thinking he was a good fit for Atlanta. Thing is, I didn't know the other side of Kirk Cousins. I didn't know the media diva side. And like I tell everybody, one thing about a football player, at some point he's going to show you his true self. And that's what Kirk Cousins did. So I don't regret, saying that Kirk Cousins should come to Atlanta because, I feel like he could be a quarterback that could take us to the next level. In the first 9 games, you saw that. But after that injury kicked in, then we saw the other side of Kirk Cousins. So I don't regret saying that because we needed a quarterback. So now, they went out and drafted the future. I'm going to roll with the future. So, hey, it is what it is.
Hey, man, at the end of the day, it's water under the bridge. At the end of the day now, man, this is the situation that we're in. It goes back to what we said at the beginning of at the start of the new league year. We have to hit on this draft on all cylinders. Regardless, if you want to go get somebody, if you want to go get Banks, I understand it. Do I like it? No. But I ain't like the Bijan Robinson pick neither. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But, I mean, look at him now. I mean, he's going to be our running back for the future, hopefully for years to come. So, at the end of the day, would I like it? No, because I want defense. That's all. I just feel like we just keep ignoring defense. We keep overlooking defense and try to go get it in other places. And my thing is, it's failed us so far. Regardless, it has failed us so far. We only have so many guys that are still on this team from when Terry first started drafting. And I'm not taking a shot at him. I'm just saying what's really out there. We have to address the defense.
But think about it though, man. Really, really think about it. Terry Fontenot and TJ, my boy TJ from the NFC South Roundtable, he actually said it, and I knew it because he's really building this team like he built the New Orleans Saints. He goes offense first and defense second because if you remember, he was the one bought in Drew Brees with a busted shoulder that nobody thought was going to play again. Drew Brees healed from that shoulder surgery because he was actually supposed to sign with the Miami Dolphins, but failed the physical, ended up going to New Orleans, and Terry Fontenot, the one that gave him the chance to do that. So after he went and got his quarterback, he goes out and get Marcus Colston. He goes out and get Reggie Bush. He goes out and get Alvin Kamara. He goes out and get these exciting skill position players. So he's doing the exact same thing in Atlanta. And when you talk about Kevin Banks, exciting offensive lineman, somebody to protect Michael Penix, what did Terry Fontenot do other than Cam Jordan in New Orleans? Who else did he draft that really made a difference other than him?
Well, shoot, I know at the time when he was with New Orleans, it was more so Mickey Loomis, creating havoc around there. So Terry was kind of just like the, hey man, get me some water. But
he was the vice president of football operations and he was a scout director. So he's still doing
it. But here's the problem with that whole situation though. Terry was literally taught everything he knows by that man that you just named, Mickey Loomis. This is his first time really being out here. He's literally off the dock. The training wheels is off the bike. You might as well take the life jacket off. He's swimming in the Atlantic Ocean right now. That's what he's doing right now. Let's be honest, bro. I don't have a problem with you looking at protecting Penix's blind side. But the problem I have is this. We've had one draft that was already defensive low when we draft. Let's be real. You draft a running back in a draft that was loaded that year. Every year that we've drafted top players or whatnot in certain spots, there's always been great defensive players that we passed on because we are so concerned about putting asses in seats. That's mainly what it is. Let's be real on that, man. You already see that teams that have won championships have had solid to great defenses recently.
Right.
Recently they have. So when you look at the last, and we gotta say it, you look at the Super Bowl champs. I know Falcon fans get mad when we say this, but all I'm gonna say is you look at what they did in Philly. Just saying, not just building the dogs. I want y'all to really think about this. They already had offensive pieces that they were bringing in. They were really making sure that their defense was set to stop guys, because the biggest draft piece that they got was when Doug Peterson was here and he wanted Jalen Hurts. A lot of people booed it. A lot of people wanted him gone. They didn't want him here. So when you sit back and you look at it, he got that main piece. He got his quarterback. And what did they do? They built around that quarterback. They built around him. But they also had a defense to be able to keep him in games when he screwed up. This is something that we have to do in Atlanta. We have to build our defense to be able to help out Penix when he screws up. Because let's be real, folks, he didn't play a full season last year. People didn't have much tape on him. Now we're going to see the rookie mistakes. How does he bounce back from adversity? How does he deal with throwing interceptions and coming back and leading us on game-winning drives? This is the stuff that no one wants to talk about. The man is still a rookie. He barely played last year. So again, until we have a defense that can actually hold this team down, be prepared for a long season. Penix is definitely a great talent, but he's got to grow.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
and you got to cover it up with a defense.
It's essentially his rookie season, y'all. I mean, I understand he played phenomenal in those 3 games compared to what we thought it was going to be, and compared to our last quarterback who had a small sample size. But at the end of the day, man, he's not lying though. It is his rookie season. We got to see exactly what we're going to do. That's another reason why I'm saying, let's go defense, y'all. Let's go defense.
Help him out.
Ugly draft, and let's
think about
our
it.
defense, so it's not all on him.
Yeah, you just released the veteran key to the defense. You just released him, Grady Jarrett. So you really got to rebuild on that side of the football. There's no shot at AJ or Jesse Bates, but you need that leader in the front 7, and right now they really don't have that. They have Caden Ellis, but let's keep it real.
Right.
Let's keep it real. Those guys in that back end can't do a damn thing if you don't have a pass rush or you don't have anybody controlling that pocket. And Grady played out of position his whole career. He never truly had a D tackle. The best D tackle that we had that we've ever paired with Grady, it wasn't Onyemata. It was Rasheed Hageman. But Rasheed Hageman got in that mess. Again, we had our D-line set at that time, because think about it. Grady was eating in that Super Bowl when Rasheed Hageman was holding up the middle of that field. So again, you can't do anything with Rook or Roro. I know everybody's what Rook's gonna do. Here's the thing: he's too small to be a zero tech, too small, too short. He can play, but understand this: when he gets up against somebody that's got just as much skill set as him, he's gonna be dominated. You gotta get one of those fat boys. I'm sorry. I mean, let me not fat shame, because I love my D linemen. The hell with that. I love the D linemen. I love them more than I love my own position group, because guess what? People in the secondary don't eat if we don't have nobody up front that can keep these big uglies off of these guys.
Right.
So until we get a true D tackle, bro, we're going to be having the same damn conversation every year. Every year.
And I forgot we did have Terry.
I'm sorry if that came out a certain way, man. That just
Don Terry Pope. Yeah, no,
I forgot about Terry Pope.
But Don Terry Pope was more. He was a good signing, but let's be real, we didn't keep him that long.
Yeah, I know. That was terrible because we didn't have no money to pay him.
Exactly.
And the thing with Don Terry Poe, he was pretty much the same. They had the same type game as Grady Jarrett, so it was just like they were just breaking even.
1A and 1B.
Right.
So again, as I said before, Hageman was the best D tackle that we ever seen paired with him. And the reason I say that is because Grady rarely got blocked when Hageman was in there, if y'all remember. Rarely.
So
Right.
my final thought on this Kirk Cousins thing, before we get out of here. I think he's already made up. I think he's already made up his mind where he wants to go. I just think he's waiting to see what the Cleveland Browns are going to do at number 2. Are they going to go Travis Hunter, or they're going to go Abdul Carter, or are they going to go Shedeur Sanders? That's what he's waiting on. Because let's be real, this is why he was up there at Chipotle in Ohio. Yeah, you can talk about house hunting, but at the end of the day, he's got a house in Atlanta. He's probably got a house in Minnesota. So why else would he be in Cleveland?
I mean, and they have a facility, I believe, to like a team doctor or something like that. That's like a few miles, not even a whole 2-3 miles away from that Chipotle that he took a picture at.
Chris, Emory has one of the best orthopedic doctors in the nation.
And
so why the hell is he way up in Ohio at the doctor?
Exactly. I mean, you know what's going on.
Testing the waters. You know what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know
He's up there talking. He's talking to Kevin Stefanski, who he played with under Minnesota. With Minnesota, asking him what his plan is for the next 2 to 3 years. Or is he going to wait to see what Deshaun Watson is going to do? He's just trying to test the water. That's why he came out and said he's not going to waive his no trade clause until after the draft. So he's going to meet with as many teams as he can. Pittsburgh has jumped in the conversation too, because I don't think that they're going to go after Aaron Rodgers anymore. Boy, that Kirk Cousins and Arthur Smith, boy, I would love to see that, because that's going to be
with Mike Tomlin's legacy on the line. Oh my God!
Mike Tomlin not getting ready to let that happen.
Yeah, I'm like,
not at all.
Goodness.
And think about it, Pittsburgh. Wait.
No, I was just gonna ask, Smitty, because you just mentioned something about Cleveland and you said Deshaun Watson, and I think you spoke on it the other day. How would you feel if they swapped Deshaun Watson to bring him in as a backup for Michael Penix Jr.?
No. Look, I'm telling you.
No, I'm just asking because guess what? You really realize that they would. You really realize Cleveland would pull some slick stuff like that. That's the reason. Don't think we just gonna be able to get something for him and they're not gonna offload that dude.
Yeah, I mean, and Arthur Blank got a soft spot.
I don't want him, but
let's just keep it real. Arthur Blank has a soft
that's
spot.
why I mentioned it.
You took the words right out of my head, Smitty, because I'm just like,
yeah.
I don't want him
any other quarterback that going on with that, I'd be like, nah. But just the fact that he does have that relationship with Deshaun, that would be absolutely crazy. But no.
I mean, I get that.
No, I don't want it to happen.
But
I don't want it to happen. But
listen to the lady.
This is why I know it will not happen. This is why I know it will not happen. Look how long it took him to go out and get another African American mobile quarterback after what happened with Mike Vick. He had Matt Ryan for 14 years. Then he go out and get a Matt Ryan wannabe clone in Kirk Cousins. Now he's feeling safe to get back into that safe space with a mobile African-American quarterback. And with what Deshaun Watson has been through, and I'm sure Arthur Blank has talked to him since he's going through those troubles at the massage. So he knows where his head space is at. But I just don't see Arthur Blank from a PR perspective going out and getting a Deshaun Watson, because he don't want that PR nightmare. Look at what Kirk Cousins is doing right now, and he's a 37-year-old damn near backup quarterback. So he don't want another PR nightmare. So yeah, Deshaun Watson, I don't see that happening. However,
damn near.
Smitty, but we also know that it's a lot of stuff that we don't want. That's something I don't want to happen. But don't think Cleveland ain't thinking about passing him on like that, bro.
Oh, that's exactly what they're gonna do.
That's why I was saying I would say this here. I wouldn't even, unless it's just, I would only take draft picks from Cleveland or money compensation for Kirk. Other than that, I'm not taking nothing else that they trying to pass or whatnot, because again, their organization damn sure is trying to get rid of Deshaun Watson. And I've listened to a couple of Browns podcasts and some folks talking about it. They want him gone. Literally, they want that dude gone.
Yeah, they were over him.
They were
They
holding him
bad
They
last
they
year.
cheered when
were.
he tore his Achilles. They cheered. The people
They
cheered.
found they found a way to cut $36 million off the books. This is the reason why I think Kirk Cousins. This is another reason why I think Kirk Cousins goes there. That 36 million goes along with the 20 million that they got with the raise, and Deshaun Watson re-tearing his Achilles is probably going to be out for 2025. So when you look at him being out really 2 years in a row, what other purpose does he serve? If they can find a way to get rid of him, they might give you a draft pick, just like I said with Kirk Cousins. They might give you a draft pick just to take that contract, but it won't be as expensive as it once was because with the injury clauses in that contract, they've already cut almost $40 million in just 1 year.
I'm talking about.
So we can definitely get get a third back, or even. My thing is this: I just want to get something for this guy so we can move on. But if they decide to keep him, you know what? Bury his ass on the sideline. If something happens to Penix, knock on wood, God forbid. Guess what? You got an experienced quarterback. I'm not willing to let him go yet until we get something that's gonna be rock solid that we can build off of. I don't want to just let him go for a bag of chips and you know what I'm saying, and a little quarter huggy or the corner store juice on the corner. That's all I'm saying.
I'm with you on that, Ron. That's been my whole point as well. I'm like, we can get rid of
emotion out of it,
but make it worthwhile, because he really, to be honest with you, he can sit on the bench for a king's ransom for all I care. Because we were on paper, dog.
Like I said earlier, I forced him to retire. But Greer Wilson, I think honestly, I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. I think Pittsburgh goes after Jackson Dart if nobody moves up in the top 15 to take him. I think that's going to be Pittsburgh's move. Yeah, I mean, look,
because that's who we would have been looking at. We didn't take Michael Penix.
Do you really believe that Arthur Smith is going to use Jackson Dart's skill set in that offense or whatnot? Because let's be honest.
I don't.
I think
when have you ever seen him use a guy really in that mode like that and really just let him ball?
I think Arthur Smith's mindset is, if you want me to be honest, is Jalen Milroe, a mobile quarterback, because he's a run first guy.
Hey, but don't it make sense? Don't it make sense though?
I'm just saying.
You about to have one. Hey, you about to have one of the most sketchiest passes in SEC history come to Pittsburgh, and you think he gonna win a championship for you?
No, I'm just saying.
Hey,
go for it. Hey, I'm all for it. Go ahead, Arthur Smith. Burn.
But look at
wait a minute.
Look at what he had in Tennessee. He had Marcus Mariota and Ryan Tannehill, two mobile quarterbacks. He comes to Atlanta, he gets rid of another mobile quarterback. Now he goes to Pittsburgh. What does he have? Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, mobile quarterbacks. So,
but the difference is Justin Fields can actually throw short. Milroe's problem is he can't throw the short pass. My Bama fans out there, there was a lot of Bama fans that was happy he left. They ain't gonna tell you that. That's gonna be a problem in that offense, Smitty. If he tries, think about it.
But
Milroe and George Pickens is gonna be a problem. not a good problem, a serious problem, because George has had quarterbacks that could throw him the football and he was throwing tantrums. What you think he gonna do with Milroe?
Oh shit, he really finna be pissed because DK Metcalf finna take his role.
Oh, so, exactly.
I mean, he screwed either way.
I know Aaron Rodgers.
That's why I say exactly.
But I'm just telling you Arthur Smith's mindset. From what I've seen with Arthur Smith, he likes mobile quarterbacks, and Jalen Milroe is the closest thing to what he loves. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
Even though I don't think he goes there, I'm just telling you that what he might spit in Mike Tomlin's ear. That's all I'm saying. But one thing about it, one thing that he does not have now that he loves is a power back, because Najee Harris went to the Chargers. So now you have to go out in the draft, and now you have to figure out all over again.
If Gentry falls, do they take him?
I believe they do. I hate to say it, but I believe they will take Ashton Gentry, but I feel bad. I feel bad for any running back that goes into that system, because at this point, Arthur Smith is going to destroy, not kill, destroy careers when it comes to these running backs, because now the game is not like it once was. We all know that everything has changed. So, but fellas, I appreciate y'all having me on. We gonna do a show tonight. I would love for y'all to come through if y'all not gonna be busy. I'm gonna have those links waiting for y'all. But I definitely would love for y'all to come through, because we need balance in the bird cage. We got balance already, but we need more balance in the bird cage with y'all coming through with us. Because look, my crew is balancing everything out, but we definitely need balance or whatever, and we want y'all to come through, because again, we miss y'all coming through. Y'all our country cousins, and we definitely gotta have a show with y'all tonight if y'all can come through, man. Seriously.
Okay. Hey, but y'all want to hear something else crazy? I'm gonna start something before I get out the air like I always do. What if Tyler Algier ended up in Pittsburgh? We talk about power backs. We talk about moving. We talk about what he loves. He was here when Tyler Algier got drafted. He was the head coach. He ran for 1,000 yards. He's a power back. Could it be
Pittsburgh's culture? As much as I hate to say it, it hurt me to my heart to say this, because I would not want to see him leave. He fits Pittsburgh's culture
perfectly,
fellas.
Perfect.
I appreciate y'all. Letting me on, man. Y'all check us out tonight on YouTube, the Birdcage LLC. We're gonna have it's just a pop-up show for the night.
Miss Carey said you better get right or get left.
Yeah, tell the Falcons to get right, and so Terry F doesn't get left.
Hey, she said, "Hey man, I love how she. Thank you for quoting. Thank you for giving the Birdcage some love with that quote. Like we say in the cage, you either get right or you get left." And then Thursday, we got an HBCU legend, former NFL legend, coming on the show. So y'all definitely got to check that out with my FAMU alum that were there when he was there at Central State. We got Coach William Joe, aka Billy Joe, coming through. Y'all know 7 national championships. Saban ain't the only one who got them, but we got that. But y'all hit that like and subscribe button. There's way too many y'all in this chat right now that have not hit that like button, and y'all haven't subscribed to these hardworking brothers right here, man. So please, if y'all want to continue to keep this great content coming your way, show these brothers some love, because they take time out of their personal schedules to do this, just like I do and everybody else that's content creators. So, hey, man, you either get right or you get left, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey, we appreciate you, bro.
Let's go.
But yeah, Grill. Yeah, they got 2 guys that divas up there that want the football. That's not going to work in Pittsburgh. I'm gonna keep it real, but honestly, I've been thinking about
Tyler ain't my problem.
I've been thinking about Tyler Algier to Pittsburgh for a while. I just hadn't said that to anybody because I know y'all gonna chop my head off about that. But look, y'all please go check out Chris on the Hawks Digest, another Hawks Digest on YouTube. He's building that thing super fast, so he's a rising star. He has other things in the work behind the scenes that he's working on. So y'all will see him on TV soon. Trust me, y'all will.
Working on it. But,
you got any closing thoughts before we head out?
Hey man, just like Kerry said, and also Smitty, catch me on the Hawks Digest, man. We just got over 1,200 subs, so we're growing. But also come on over to A1 Forever Sports, the platform that I'm on right now currently. Come on over, like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys find your peace today. Positive energy always creates elevation. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure you guys are doing that. So yeah, working on behind the scenes, doing a lot of different things, getting even more busy. I love it. Sports is a passion, so you know what it is. Smitty, man, take us on up out of here, man.
Hey man, y'all know what it is, man. Follow me on Smitty Sports Machine like y'all been doing. Please, man, when y'all come through, take your shoes off, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, because we gonna keep having fun, man. Y'all keep
on your socks, though. Keep on your socks.
Yeah, keep on your socks, because I don't want to smell no toes. But look, catch me on the NFC South Roundtable as well. Y'all can go catch the replays of shows we've done on the NFC South Roundtable. And also, man, look, we're gonna have more and more draft coverage, more live streams. I just got my monetization back, so you can go into any video that I have right now, any short, and you can donate. So look, thank y'all for supporting me. It's been hard to keep this thing going, because I'm gonna be real with y'all. When they mess with your money, it makes it harder to do anything. But
yes.
I do it for the love anyway, and I've still been doing it. Nobody knew that I was just doing it, just to be doing it. But I love to talk sports. And if, believe it or not, as I've told y'all, when I started doing this in 2014, I was timid, I was shy, and couldn't say nothing. But now I can't shut up, and I always got crazy stuff going through my mind. So
Always.
evolution is everything, man. Evolution is everything. So, like Chris always say, man, find your peace, because peace is everything, especially after you turn 40. Peace of mind is everything after you turn 40. That's just a word of advice, a piece of wisdom that I'm gonna pass on to y'all. But this has been a great show, man. Thank Ryan in the Birdcage for coming through. Shout out to our boy Berto, Mr. 95 North. He's doing big things on Bleacher Report. When the season starts back, you will see the team back together. And hey, we're gonna have those interviews coming. And as I told y'all, we're gonna try to get Mr. Steve Weiss back on the show. Talk some Atlanta Falcons, talk some NFL football, because there's a lot of questions that I want to ask him that I know he has an answer for. And if y'all missed the show and y'all just tuning in, please go back to the beginning and watch what Arthur Blank says about Kirk Cousins. Check out our thoughts, and we gonna roll, because y'all know what it is. I got to find my hot wings. I'm gonna holler at y'all later, man.